charges.
Hi, my name is Abs, and I'm a cheerleader. I want to share with you the most useful stretches that have been successful for me. So let's get to it. Now we're going to do straddle. We're going to hold the right side for 30 seconds. And also you should feel a stretch in your hips or your thighs. You really want to pull down and you want to try to get your chest to the ground and try to challenge yourself. I'm not naturally flexible, so in the beginning this was super hard. And I've been practicing for... Now we're going to switch. One side is going to be easier than the other. And we're going to hold this for 30. Make sure your toes don't fold in. You want your shoelaces in the top of your foot to face up to the sky. Now you're going to go into the middle. This might be very challenging to you, or this might be naturally easy. But I'm in between. Make sure your ankles don't roll in. You want them to face up. Make sure your arms are straight out. Now we're going to slide into pike. You want to grab down and make sure to look up and your arms straight out. This might be very hard for you, and make sure to lock out your knees. You can also bring your head to your knees. Now we're going to hold our feet. We're going to try to pick our heels up. And you should feel this in your calves. Make sure to grab your toes too. Okay, now we're going to go into split. But first we're going to do a lunge for 30 seconds. You want to feel a deep stretch in your thighs and your hips. Make sure to look straight ahead. And also you can challenge yourself to bring your hands down to the ground. But that's your choice. Now we're going straight out. And make sure to flex your foot. You should feel it right in your calf and your thighs. It doesn't matter how flexible you are. You can stay here or you can go down to the ground. It's your choice. Again, I'm not naturally flexible. Now we're going to slide down to split for 1 minute. My right side is easier than my left side doing splits because I feel that I'm comfortable in this position. You can lean down, even do a high V and pretend you're in a stunt. make sure your back foot is straight. Make sure your hips are facing the front. Okay, now we're going to switch. We want to do the same thing on the left side. And make sure your knee doesn't go over your foot. You can do this, or you can just stay as your arms are straight. Now we're going to do the same thing. You want to keep your leg straight and make sure to flex that foot. We're holding this for 30 seconds. Now we're going to slide into our split for 1 minute. On this side, it feels really uncomfortable. So I just have to use the way I feel comfortable in this. If I lean over and I come back up. Make sure your foot is straight up. And like I said on the other side, you want to make sure your hips are in front. Make sure your back foot, make sure your leg in the back is straight back. And one of your parents or your brother or your sister can straighten it for you. Okay, now we're going to do a middle split. First, you might want to start in this position and then roll up. That's fine with me. And the best way to get in where you get the stretch is where your hips are. And we're holding it for 1 minute. And if you want to feel the stretch, right here. But that's your decision. Either way, you feel the stretch. This might hurt. You can hold it for 30 seconds or 1 minute. That's your choice. And make sure to point your toes. Okay, now we're going to get into lunge back stretches. You can use the front of your couch or your bed, or you can stack your mats up. Now, this is how you get into it. You're basically going to do a lunge, but then you're going to get your back foot on top. Make sure to flex your foot. We're going to hold this for 20 seconds. And we're going to lean back. Okay, now we're going to do our other side. We're going to do the same thing. And you can go as far as you can. We're going to do the same thing, but it's going to be in a split. It's called split back stretches. We're going to go into the same thing, but you're going to bring out your foot, and we're just going to go back and make sure your hands are like this to support you. And on the other side. Same thing. And go into your split. Now we're done with our split back stretch. We're going to go on to our bridge series. We're going to bridge up. We're going to hold this for 20 seconds. Make sure you look up at the sky and straighten out your legs. We're going to come down. We're going to do rock and roll. We're going to do this for 10 seconds. Okay. Now we're going to do a bridge, but we're going to walk our feet to our hands. You can go as close as you can. And we're going to hold that for 20 seconds. Alright, we're going to come down. Same thing, we're going to do rock and roll for 10 seconds. Okay, now we're going to do the opposite. Our hands are going to walk as close to our feet. We're going to hold that for 20 seconds. We're going to come down. We're going to rock and roll for 10 seconds again and for the last time. Okay. Now we're going to do partner stretching. You can have one of your parents do it. Mom.
Oh. Is it my turn?
Yes.
I look terrible. Okay.
You're going to...
So, you're going to pop it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to grab around the person. And you're going to kick up their foot. Your foot. And they're going to grab it as close as you can. I'm not naturally flexible. And also, we're going to hold this for 20 seconds.
We're going to the side next?
Yes.
Okay.
We do this both directions. Okay, now you're doing it to the side. And make sure your bottom foot is straight.
And what about your working leg?
It's supposed to be straight too.
When you let the leg down, whoever's working with you, let it down slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Other
And you're
side?
doing the other side. Same way. You're holding it for 20 seconds. Make sure your leg that is up is straight and your working leg is straight. And make sure your foot is pointed. Now we're going to the side.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell everybody about this?
And also there's one other thing we're going to do. It's almost the same thing.
What is?
Okay. You're going to kneel. You're going to grab around the person. You want to lunge basically and then kick. It's almost like the same thing, but you're just kneeling. And we're holding this for 20 seconds.
And I would always remember in any stretch, just go as far as you are comfortable.
Mm-hmm. And make sure your leg that is kicked up and your foot is pointed and it's straight. Now the other side. Whoa. You're going to do the same thing and kick. And we're holding this for 20 seconds. Make sure your leg is straight. Okay.
Is that it for me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm exiting.
We're going to finish off with stretching.
What?
What?
You've been stretching.
Well, stretching your muscles out so then they're relaxed. You're going to hold this one for 30 seconds. Make sure your toes are to the ground. Make sure they're straight up. Okay, now we're switching. Now we're going into the center. And make sure your ankles and your feet don't go in, but you want them out. And make sure your arms are straight out. And we're holding this for 30 seconds. We're holding this for 10 more seconds. Now this really helps your hips and your back. You're going to do a seal stretch. We're holding this for 20 seconds. Make sure your stomach is sucked in to feel the stretch, and make sure your arms are straight out. Okay. Now we're doing frog. If you're not familiar with frog, it's basically butterfly but in reverse. And we're holding this for 20 seconds. You should feel a stretch in your hips, and you can lie down just as is. We're holding this for 5 more seconds. And you want your feet together. Okay. And that is it for the back flexibility video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for following along. I hope you enjoyed it. And make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.